Love it. Love good news. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to the March 2025 meeting for the Manhattan Community Board 11 Human Services Committee. My name is Isaac Scott and I'm the chair. This meeting is called to order at 6:21 p.m. Tonight, we are joined by Marlene Pierre, the staff liaison to our committee. In order to conduct an efficient meeting, let's observe a few ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand through Zoom, click the participant icon and you will find the raise hand function there. If you have technical difficulty, click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to staff. Members should not engage in a back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. The chat should not be used for CB11 business or questions about the agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record when recognized. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic. Members of the public, if you have any questions or comments about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Right now, we will take roll of board members. When you hear your name, please answer present.
Martha Landina, present. Rosa Diaz, present. Arlene Fernandez, Foster Hernandez, present. Jennifer Meyer, present. Valerie Fonte, present. Ashley Rodriguez, Isaac Scott, Robin Stration, Alida Chichambu. We have a form.
Thank you. The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board's office and was posted online. If there are no objections, we will adopt the agenda as stated. Committee members, if you object to adopt an agenda, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no objections, we will adopt the agenda as stated. The minutes from January 2020, December 2024 and January 2025 were emailed to you all in advance. There are no meeting minutes to ratify for February. I'll have those next month. If there are no objections to the meeting minutes that were circulated for December 2024 and January 2025, if there are no objections, we will adopt those minutes. If there are any objections, please raise your hand and state that objection. Okay, seeing no objection, the minutes from December 2024 and January 2025 are adopted. The minutes for tonight's meeting are being taken by myself. Okay, with that, let's go into our first set of announcements, not updates. I'll give this first announcement and then I'll turn it over to Rosa, who has an announcement, and any other board members and public members who have announcements. Okay, so the New York City Preparedness and Recovery Institute, formerly the New York City Pandemic Response Institute, PRI, a landmark initiative led by Columbia University with key partner CUNY Graduate School of Public Health and Health Policy, is conducting a comprehensive review of NYC's COVID-19 response across various sectors. Okay. This report has a link in it. I don't have the link because I'm on this sheet, but if you want that link, if you did not get the agenda mailed to you and you need the link to the announcement I just made, let me know and I will send it to you. You can email me at humanservices@cb11m.org. Yes, so that's the announcement, the one announcement I have. Rosa, I'll let you.
Yeah, thank you so much. East Harlem Community Partnership is having our monthly meeting at 71 East 111th Street at 10 a.m. on March 12th, which is this Wednesday. Also, on Friday, East Harlem Community Partnership, we're having Women's Tea Party Workshop at 5 p.m. Again, 71 East 111th Street, second floor. And on March 14th, Manhattan High School's President's Council we will doing a forum to interview Manhattan High School's candidates to represent us, parent leaders, at, 6 p.m. You can email Isaac and I will send him the link. On March 23rd, the State of the Borough from, President Mark Levine is going to be held at 2 p.m. at LaGuardia High School. The email was already sent out. I did see it from the district office and also board office, sorry, not district. On April 22nd, just so everyone can mark your calendar, Environment Open Space is having the Earth Day celebration in, El Museo del Barrio from 10 a.m. all the way to 2 p.m. I was gonna say 2 p.m. Please, everyone is welcome. If any environmental organization wants to table, do any kind of presentation for the children, let us know. You feel free to, email Isaac and he will let me know. He will connect us. And that's it.
They can also email you directly if you want them to. Keep my inbox there. That's all good. All right, are there any other announcements from any committee members? Any announcements from the public? Okay. So seeing no announcements, we'll transition into our informational updates and then we will transition into our presentations. If you are on the schedule, on the agenda for a presentation, this is not the moment for you. Let us get through the updates and then after that, we're going into our presentations. The first set of updates is from the Department of Mental Health and Hygiene, Pauline Ferrante.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Pauline from the Health Department. I have a couple of updates on flu. We are seeing flu cases decreasing, which is great. I mean, today was a beautiful day, so the cold weather hopefully will be gone soon. RSV rates have also gone down, but I know that there is a lot of concern throughout the city with regards to measles. So far, there have only been 2 confirmed cases, both were children. One was an infant who was not yet able to receive their vaccination. And so we really encourage everyone, especially parents, to make sure that their kids are back on a clear vaccination schedule, that they receive the MMR vaccine. And also, if you are an adult, just double check with your doctor, healthcare provider. They can do a blood test just to see if you continue to have the vaccine in your body. Sometimes our bodies metabolize it and we'll need a booster. So it's always good to just know what your status is. And if you plan on traveling, definitely make sure that you have your measles or MMR vaccine. In terms of bird flu, nothing really to worry about at this time. I'm sure everyone heard that the state had to shut down some of the live chicken markets, mostly in the outer boroughs and on Long Island. But risk to humans it's still considered very low. But unfortunately, the price of eggs and everything else is still pretty high because of that. A lot of farms had to cull their chicken and ducks. And so there is still that limited capacity and supply. But in terms of our health, it is a very low risk to human. It's very low risk to humans if you don't work with livestock. So no need to fear there. But if there are any questions, I'm happy to take them. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Pauline? Any questions in the virtual space? And seeing no hands, Pauline, thank you very, very much for your presentation. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next set of updates is from Cheyenne Murillo, also from the Department of Mental Health and Hygiene, but representing the Center for Health Equity and Community Wellness.
Hi, good evening, everyone. As always, thank you for allowing me to share. So as Isaac said, I am from the Center for Health Equity and Community Wellness, specifically the Harlem Bureau of Neighborhood Health, or you may know it as the Action Center. So I have 2 updates for everyone tonight. One of which is that we just released our March calendar of events. Am I able to share my screen, or if not, it's totally okay.
Yes, just give us like 30 seconds.
Okay. Thank you.
I think that was a fast 30 seconds. You should be
Oh,
good.
yeah, I got it. So here I just wanted to show everyone what it kind of looks like and go through some of what we're offering this month. A lot of these items are reoccurring, by the way, specifically the family wellness suite section in pink here. This includes maternal yoga, lactation room. The lactation room I also want to highlight is available for anyone in the community. If you know someone who is lactating and needs a space to do so, the Action Center is available to them. They can just come in and ask the security guard for the lactation room and they'll show them where it is. I think they just have to bring their own pump apparatus. I'm not too sure about that. I could let you know later. And then we also have several workshops this month, a lot from our partner Smart University. They offer tech talks workshops, they offer culinary workshops, community conversations are happening, as well as outreach tabling where they provide PPE. So that's some of the health workshops that we have going on here. We also have the NYU hypertension and indoor air quality study at our building on March 24th from 12 to 1 p.m. And moving on here, we have HAP. They have a walking group going on. They also have blood pressure screenings at these NYCHA campuses at the specified days. I also wanted to mention very exciting news that we finally have been able to hire a staff member for the nicotine replacement therapy distribution program that we have. So if you know anyone who's looking to stop smoking, stop vaping, or anything like that, Barbara is our new staff member, a community health worker, and she's able to provide free 1 month supply of tobacco treatment, nicotine patches, or lozenges, as well as a coaching session as well. And she follows up and just kind of sees how they're doing and if they need more of the materials that were provided or what have you. I can connect you directly to Barbara now that she's onboarded. And if you know, again, if you know anyone who's looking to stop smoking or vaping and want to quit or even cut back, she's the person for that. The last thing I'll mention is we have our legal hand call-in center. I may have mentioned this before here, but just a reminder that they are available on a call-in basis for any legal issue or concern. Immigration, they can do kind of just more consultation-based things. Housing, the only thing they can't do, I think, is divorce. And you can give them a call at the number listed here or email them with a brief overview of the legal help that you are needing. And they'll let you know if you need to come into the Action Center from 10 to 5 on Thursdays. I did send this out earlier, but if you didn't receive it, I'm happy to send it again. And I think that's all of my updates for tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you so much, Cheyenne. Are there any questions? In that space? Cheyenne, you work with Anthony, right, Fonseca?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I got a message from him a few weeks ago. I didn't ignore the message, I just been swamped, so I am gonna follow back up. So I just wanted to let you know in case you're working with him on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, no worries.
I also, I'm gonna also circle back with you all about, we're gonna be, we're putting in our application at the church to do open streets on 115th Street between Madison and Park. And I wanted to, we definitely want you guys to be a part of it. It's gonna be themed around art and wellness all summer. So we wanted to, definitely have you guys a part of it. So I'll formally follow back up with you both about this.
That's exciting. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Does anyone in the virtual space have any questions for Cheyenne? Yeah, I don't see any hands at all. Thank you again, Cheyenne. We appreciate you and all your work.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna bring it into this space now, and Antonika, is gonna be given, Antonika James, from, Connect, Housing Works Connect will be giving our updates for the East Harlem COAD as well as the updates for Connect.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Antonika James. I am the community liaison for the Connect program at Housing Works Community Healthcare. So we do have a clinic on 125th Street and Lexington Avenue. And just letting you know that Connect continues to be a service that we're providing for the community. And so We do have, a new, medication management, provider that will be starting next month, and so we'll be able to start providing that, in community, and so that person is also going to be working in the field, as the rest of the team does, and so we do have, case management services. We're a free behavioral health program, so we offer free therapy and case management services to any adults in Harlem for free. They don't need to have health insurance. We don't ask them about their immigration status, and the uniqueness of our program is that we come to them. So the staff members can see you at home, they can see you in community or someplace safe that you feel like is best for you to be able to speak to someone. And I'm the community engagement person, I guess you could say. And so we also offer community workshops. And so I do have a listing here of some of the workshops that we have and are offering. So if there are organizations that are interested in some of these things, by all means, you can reach out to us and we can definitely work with you on some of these topics. So we do a self-care workshop. We do building healthy eating habits workshop, vision board workshop, which really focuses on dreaming big and talking about goals. Speak to Your Heart, which is a healthy relationship workshop, and the art of balance. So we have a sip and paint and empower activity, and so we allow people to do those activities where we sit and really destigmatize what mental health really looks like and how we can continue to help empower each other and thrive in the community. So those are the announcements for Connect, and the announcements for the co-ed are as follows. So the next meeting for the East Harlem Co-ed will be March 20th from 4 to 5 p.m. This is going to be the virtual meeting. The co-ed alternates, so 1 month they are virtual, the next month is in person. So this month it will be the virtual. They're going to be honoring Women's History Month, and that will include updates from the partners at the Department of Health, as well as NYSEM, New York City Office of Emergency Management. There'll be wellness activities by the women-owned businesses, and the American Red Cross is also going to run a fire safety presentation. If you are interested or have any questions, you can email the East Harlem Co-ed at gmail.com. That's the full email, East Harlem Co-ed at gmail.com for more information. Also, save the date for Mental Health Awareness Month. The East Harlem Co-ed will be hosting a wellness workshop on May 17th. There will be more information to come, but if you want to be a part of it or volunteer, you can email the East Harlem Co-ed. Their annual emergency preparedness fair will be set for September 27th at 11 a.m. This will be held at Bethel Gospel Assembly. There'll be more information on that coming up in the months ahead. And the co-ed is also working on 2 new workshops that will hone in on the preparedness work that they're doing, but also focus on preparedness for adults 55 and over, as well as preparedness for elementary school ages and the youth. So just be on the lookout for those updates. You can also visit the website, which is www.eastharlemcoed.org. And the next in-person meeting will be held April 17th at 3:45 p.m. And those are the updates from the co-ed.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all of that. Are there any questions? Yes, please.
So with regards to the healthy relationships, is that virtual? If, let's just say, because I am the president of Food and Finance High School, and these are high school students, they might have, little relationships here and there. Do you also provide them?
We usually just do in person as long as they're 18 and over. But we can see.
We're talking about like parents that want to help and
Yes.
support their children.
Yeah.
And so, recognizing a healthy relationship.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It includes a lot of communication, conversations, and the tone of voice that people use, as well as, how do we approach subjects that as adults, people are sometimes a little uncomfortable talking about because you're not sure if you should address this with a child or address this with a teenager yet. And the reality is that they are gonna learn it from somebody, they better learn it from you. Especially if you know, as their first teacher, as a parent, it would be in your best interest to let them hear information that's coming from you. And if you aren't sure or don't have the answers, you can use us as a resource so that we can help support you in that conversation. So yes.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hi. You mentioned behavioral health
Mhm.
and therapy, correct?
Yes.
Is the therapy ongoing or is it like a one-time session? And how often, would the services be provided?
So the therapy sessions are ongoing and the therapists work with you to devise what the frequency of that could look like. So there are some clients that see their therapist once a week, some see them every other week, some see them, you know, several times a month. So it definitely depends what the therapists do, an intake and assessment to determine what that could look like. And again, also, you know, a warm handoff of understanding what therapy can be for someone who isn't sure what that is. And so once they do that, they set up some goals and figure out where to go from there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions for Antonika regarding Housing Work Connect? I'm not sure how much you can answer about the COAD, but all right, I don't see any hands. Thank you very much, Antonika. We really do appreciate you, and I promise to have you written in this agenda. That's all. All right, y'all, so we're gonna, I don't see anyone on from, I don't see Shannon on from, CCHP, and, I don't think there's anyone else here right now representing CCHP, so we'll, transition into our first set of organizational presentations. And our first presenter is Lydia Molina, Chief Operations Officer, doing a presentation regarding a request for support for the rehabilitation of residential buildings for Argus Community Inc. located at 2015 Madison Avenue. Lydia, are you on?
Hi, good evening. Yes, I am.
Hi, Lydia. So if you could keep the presentation to 10 minutes and then leave an additional 5 minutes for Q&A, that would be great.
Sure, of course. Can I share my screen?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. So hi, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to present on behalf of Argus Community. So I'll just go right in. We have our residential program, our Mary S. Taylor program located at 2015 Madison Avenue. And this program provides residential substance use treatment, supportive housing, case management, and vocational training to individuals in recovery. So these services provided to the residents are basically designed to help the individuals refrain from substances and help them through their recovery. And thanks to OASIS, the New York State Office of Addiction Services and Support, we received a $28 million grant to undergo a full renovation of the entire facility to modernize it, enhance our housing conditions, and strengthen our community engagement. So in terms of facility renovation and program adjustments, the renovation includes a full rehab of the entire facility, capacity reduction from 150 beds to 125 beds, and the discontinuation of the outpatient treatment program. So we're solely going to focus on residential care. And our goals are to just improve living conditions, enhance support services, and create a positive impact on the community. So like I said earlier, we're enhancing our residential program with a more family-centered approach. improving housing for individuals in recovery, and revitalizing the community with modernized facilities. And I will just go right back to the first slide so you can get a better picture of what it's going to look like. I don't know if you guys are aware of what it looks like now, but this is what it's going to look like, in addition to a parking lot and just a space for the residents to hang out in, like a courtyard area in the back of the building. And that was really it. I was quicker than I thought. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes, I got a ton of questions. Can
Okay.
we go back can we start with your second slide?
Yes, this one.
Yes, thank you. No, I'm sorry, third slide, forgive me.
Okay.
So my questions are on, could you give us some of the logic behind the reduction in capacity? And how you feel that is, why was that, you know, with all of the
Necessary?
money you've gotten, and
Yeah.
you got more money, you're enhancing the space, but you're cutting down the beds. Could you explain that? But also, could you also, give us the wisdom on your decision to discontinue outpatient treatment and focus solely on inpatient?
Yes, of course. So it really was it was part of the architect design why we had to decrease the beds, because we wanted to give the residents more areas for rec time. So we're giving them 2 lounges, we're giving them a computer room. So with that design, we had to kind of minimize the room space in the buildings. And that's why it's going down to 125. We also did take a look at our census, and we haven't been at 150 beds in a long time. So the program census hasn't gone above the 120 threshold. So it kind of benefits us to decrease the beds anyway. And in terms of the discontinuation of the outpatient treatment program, there's just a lot of traffic coming in and out of the building. You know, it kind of led to a lot of fights, you know, just the cops being called on a occasional basis. And we wanted to limit that and focus more on the residential aspect, provide long-term treatment in terms of therapy, vocational training, things like that, and focus on that. We also weren't seeing any benefits from the outpatient treatment program. We had a provider leave the practice, so we had to discontinue it for a while anyway. And we're gonna just look at ramping up our other treatment programs at our other locations.
So that was my next question. So with respects to the services that were being provided in the outpatient programs, how are you supplementing those? Are they going to be more programs offered inside, and what programs specifically will you outsource to other organizations?
Yes, so the discontinuation of the outpatient treatment program, we're gonna take a look at the current residents who are receiving care. And if they do, if their providers do say that they need to continue care, we have drivers and we have like what do you call those the cargo vans, the big cars that seat like 15 folks inside. We can transfer them to some of our other programs that are a little bit more successful and have the services that they need, and the providers, because it was kind of hard to house providers at this specific location. And with regard to us having a computer room, like a little kind of like staff lounge, gym kind of setup, we will be doing more vocational training with the residents in terms of helping them build their resumes up, helping them with the trade, signing them up for whatever it is that they want to do in the future, helping them with the job interview process and things like that.
Okay. And regarding those sort of professional development, that work that you'll be doing with folks, will you be working with local I'm sure you're already working with organizations here because you guys have been here, but will there be an increase in that sort of outsourcing to local organizations to get some of their folks to come in and work with people, or are you going to be
Absolutely. No, the goal is to, work with outside organizations as well as our in-house staff, because part of what Oasis does when they fund us for renovations, they will also fund us for staffing as well, for more like, vocational trainers and, professional development. But again, it's kind of hard, that process can be very lengthy. So we do heavily rely on outside organizations and kind of just, collaborate with them to see how we can get the program up and running.
Thank you so much. I'll open the floor for any other questions from folks before I come back. Yes.
Sure.
I wanna know, hi, good evening. I
Hi.
wanted to know, when will this project be done?
Good question. While I was presenting, I was like, oh wait, I didn't put the date. I'm so sorry about that. So it is slated to start in February of 2026. And it's going to be done in phases. We're gonna take it floor by floor because we don't have a place to relocate our residents to. So we will be doing it in phases. And the project end date is tentatively set for April of 2027.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi.
Thanks for your presentation. The $20 million that was granted to you is for capital expenses explicitly, right?
Yes.
And do you have an RFP process in place, or how is the contract going to be distributed?
So because the grant was so large, Oasis took care of the RFP process. They hired their own project manager, their construction consultant, and they submitted the RFPs and they chose who they wanted to kind of start up our architectural design. So we do have an architect that was chosen, but because the grant is so large, they don't rely on us to do the heavy lifting. They do all of the heavy lifting. We just deal with, presenting to you guys and, presenting to the residents and making sure that the staff are aware and, any programmatic details that need to be set in place.
So how is it determined that the necessary improvements was going to cost 20 million? You had a evaluation done through architect before the 20 million was appropriated? Like, how did that come about that it was 20 million?
I'm not sure how that came about. I can definitely contact someone at Oasis because what they basically did was we applied for this because we showed them how the bad conditions we had going on in that building. And, we had to list a scope of work and everything we wanted done to the facility and give a justification as to why. They approved that, and then they took that and, I guess worked with their people on their end to determine the cost. I think they brought in multiple architects to come in and, do a walkthrough of the facility to determine that. So I can find out more, but I wasn't privy to that.
Yeah, and in other words, it's the needs assessment, or
Yeah.
what justified the authorization of the $20 million.
So the building is in
I'm
very bad.
You to tell me that like now, but whenever you can submit it to, you could send an email. If you have the needs assessment package, you could just email it.
Yes, I have that for you. Okay, who do I email?
You can send it to Isaac or to
You can send it
Isaac, what is your email?
Send it to, yes, anytime you guys have information, you can send it to myself or Marlene, you can send it to me.
I can-
Yeah.
No worries. I communicated with Marlon, so I will send it to that email. But yes, I have that for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is, what businesses will be part of this construction from the East Harlem community?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. What was that question?
Businesses, what construction companies, what kind of companies from East Harlem will be involved in renovation?
So Oasis, they picked an architect company called Posen Architects. They will be doing all of the architectural designing. And then we also partnered with DASNY to make sure that we are in compliance. And I think that's it for now. I don't have any correspondence from Posen Architects related to who's gonna actually be doing the construction. So it is slated for another year. I think we'll be getting that in the next couple months.
We can keep this conversation going. Any other questions? If you guys have any questions,
Yes, I do. I'd like to know, when was this presented to the community?
it's being presented now. I can answer that question. It's being presented right now.
Just now?
It's being presented. That's how it works. It has to get, they have to email us to ask, can they present? They ask, can they present? And then present to them.
And are you okay with these people coming into the community? Because we also have like 38 drug programs and people coming out of jail, and within other areas, they have none whatsoever.
Do you have a question for the presenter?
Well, actually, it seems like someone else is gonna be doing the work and picking out the construction, because she was concerned about who's gonna be working from our community to build this, okay?
Yes.
And it sounds like they're taking control of the money and how it's being spent, okay, which means it's out of the community, from what I'm hearing. Okay, because I see where she's coming from with that. And then on top of that, like I said, I have a map here. Boom, that black is our community.
Do you have a
Okay.
question for the presenter? Was my question to you, Belinda?
Are you guys gonna approve this coming to our community?
That's not a question to, that's a question to me.
Okay.
And I'm happy to,
I
hold on.
no, okay, I
Hold
will
on,
talk
Belinda.
with you.
I'm happy to go there. We can have this conversation.
Okay,
But we have a presenter who's on.
yeah, she's presenting and I understand.
Okay, would you like to ask her any questions?
No,
before I let her
nothing
go?
else.
You're good? Are there does anyone else have any questions for Lydia? Regarding this presentation? Okay,
When,
yes.
can we see the RFP?
What was
Lydia,
that?
did you?
Can we see, copy of the RFP?
Oh, I can request that from Oasis, yes.
So Lydia, it's fair to say that we'll be in contact with you to get a lot of information, and if it's doable for you all, we would love to have you guys keep coming back so we can continue to get updates on the process as everything is taking place.
Absolutely.
So I'll entertain this conversation for a few minutes before our next presentation. Before I answer, you wanna ask your question completely and then I'll.
The question is that, how are these people coming in our communities?
Who are you
Like,
talking about when you say
on point-
these people?
Well, whoever's
No,
allowing
be-
them
Be
to,
specific, who are you talking about?
Oasis?
Who's the, no.
No, that's-
Let him, I wanna get.
I'm talking about the drug program like, On Point. And some of the other rehabs that are coming into our neighborhood,
So
with
you
the
want,
needles and everything.
uh-huh.
Who's allowing these people to come into our neighborhood? Because they're not doing anything for us, but bringing the drug addicts into our neighborhood and ruining our quality of life. So who's okaying this?
Okay, so I'll say a few things and then we can entertain this for a few minutes and I'm gonna move us along. But this conversation is for me, is a little bit outdated, because we've been going through this for the past 2 years. And this is like the first time I've seen you guys here at this committee.
That's what we came up.
Talking about this, and we've done a lot of work over the last 2 years in this specific area. So just to lay out the process to answer your question directly, Oasis makes those decisions. The community board does not decide where Oasis places programs. That has been a huge part of the fair share argument we've been making to them, and that they have been, I'll say it this way, they are, I don't use the word oversaturation, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. They put more programs in our communities than they do in more affluent ones. We know this. And this has been the argument we've been making to them, in that before you decide to cite places and bring places in, you need to come to the community board, let us know, or give us the opportunity to weigh in, or at least get to know these organizations so that we can ensure that they are doing what they're supposed to do. Hence, you know, my comments to Arches, and that we want to stay connected with them close. So as this is developing, it's developed the right way. I would I would direct you to a former document we had, which was a revised moratorium document where we advocated for a lot of, and still advocate for a lot of fair share advocacy, information from these organizations. In addition to that, additional support from the city, the NYPD and local organizations to be able to get people off the streets and give them these extra, whatever help they need. The reason I'm not gonna use the word, the reason I'm not gonna use the, and then please, I'm gonna shut up and let people talk, but it's not about me, but I'm gonna lay the foundation here because I realize only like me and Jen has been here while we're just doing all of this stuff. I don't use the term oversaturation of programming because East Harlem is not oversaturated with social service programming. East Harlem deals with a number of issues that require very specific social services, and we are very much in that top category of overdose ratings, which was the that was the logic Oasis gave us for citing. Although they said East Harlem and South Bronx. We can dispute that, be that as it may, but that is their logic for citing programs in our area. What I've not allowed to happen and I won't allow to happen today is that we start to talk about people who need help like they're destroying our community. If it is an issue of safety, that's the concern. This is not the public safety committee. So issues of safety that belong to the NYPD should go to that committee. This committee is dealing with ensuring that people get the services they need. So this is the Human Services Committee. And this committee, the purview of this committee is to ensure that the social services that are needed in this community are granted in this community. And I want to draw that fine line there because I don't want to have conversations about safety and public safety because this is not the public safety committee. With that, there also needs to be a lot more input from community members and community residents. There are a number of surveys and opportunities that have been given by this community board for community members to participate in drafting our language, drafting our documents, drafting our statement of district needs, drafting our budget priorities, and no one is here. So I just want to put that out there that we're working every day of the, every month of the year on issues like this. And from time to time, we have folks come and show up and they think we haven't been doing anything. We've been doing a lot. So my question would be back to you all, with regards to this committee, and the purview of this committee, what is the expectation that you have coming here and making a request? What is it exactly that you are hoping to get from this?
Is how some of the agencies that are coming into the neighborhood are just saying you're providing for people in the neighborhood, which is bringing other people from other neighborhoods, which is swamping our neighborhoods with what's going on. Okay, you bring them in, we don't mind you helping them. But once they leave the buildings, okay, you're saying the police department, we did the police department thing, okay, and the captain. I'm saying why they're all focused here in Community Board 11. Okay, you can pick other buildings in other neighborhoods. Okay, that's why we're here.
I understand.
Okay,
I understand.
we dealt with the police department. We have our meetings also neighborhood blocks of neighborhood association within the Northeast Harlem area where you're placing these things at. And once these people leave the building, okay, they're in our quality of life is going down because of needles, this and that, fighting, urinating and everything else. So why can't we, well, some people say, put them on a barge and let the barge move around and travel.
Can I stop you?
Yeah, you can stop, you understand, but.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem, bro. I just want to, because we're on the record, so I hear you saying we're not putting anyone anywhere. We're all community members here. Just
Yeah,
like you.
I understand that.
We're also not voting on where places go. So you have to understand that we're just.
It sounds like Oasis, I think you mentioned, is the one that's doing it.
So Oasis is the place that decides where they will place programs and depending on how much we fuss, fight and get in their ass will depend on how much they stop doing it, which is what we have been doing over the past few years. And that's probably led to them not putting more than they would have put the past few years over here.
Okay.
That the energy, which I share with you all, because I live here, I'm in East Harlem with y'all, I'm church right on 116th in Madison, and I'm right in between the dope spot and the dust spot.
I'm
So I
at
got it.
126th Street in Park and that was coming from down the street, the needles and
I
everything.
understand, sir.
And now you're putting another program there, which is indoors, which is fine. And then we have the Odyssey House across the street that was just built.
Okay, so they're not putting that in,
Yeah.
they're already there.
Yeah, they're already there. We're
Yeah,
talking with them, so.
So I guess the reason I'm just clarifying these things is because they become a part of a larger frustration. And when they're not explained correctly, it comes across like these artists has already been there. So they're not, if anything, with regards to this issue that is being brought up, they may be doing something helpful because one, they're cutting the outpatient program, so there won't be traffic going in and
I
out.
heard that, which was good.
Right, also they're reducing, well, they weren't serving 150 anyway, but they're cutting the bed size, so. It seems to me that they're making improvements that would be in line with some of the concerns that the community has already expressed. So, you know, when we talk about that, I wanna just make sure that we're acknowledging those things and we're not, you know, because. Yeah, I don't wanna turn this community board into, so this is the culture that I stepped into where. This space was held for us to attack the organizations because we didn't like just what you said.
Mhm.
And that what it did was it isolated a lot of the organizations from coming and working with us. It also ultimately, it stigmatizes help in the community, so less people will go and get help from these programs in our community because of the stigma that is carried by the community board members who are supposed to be here representing them. Now, I know that folks don't like people who use drugs and alcohol, but some of them grew up right in the same community that you all grew up in. And they have just as much right to that community.
And that's true.
And so my position has always been, let's ensure that we are staying within the purview of this committee, which is to ensure that the best quality of care is given, and that does mean accountability. It does mean bringing people to the table and getting, I don't want to say numbers, but understanding their models, their methodologies and their strategies for growth and community development. So I'll stop there. I'll open the floor. I won't make a comment after, and then I'll open back up to our presentations.
I just want to just reiterate, again, that presentation is for a facility and program that exists already. They're not, it's just renovating the building.
I understand and
Okay.
bringing it in. I'm fine with that, because I heard the less bedrooms and they're living there and there's no outgoing patients. That's beautiful. It's just that when we open these programs, other people come from other areas. And that's the problem we're having, and they're staying there. You know, you got On Point right down the street. And they're shooting up needles, you know, so. They say they wanna shut it down, but they're not shutting it down.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page that we feel like we don't necessarily need any more of these facilities in
Yes,
our community.
yes.
But we also don't wanna like stifle what
I don't wanna
our
stifle,
goals are.
I don't wanna
Yeah,
stifle.
I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah, I don't wanna stifle, but. I'm
We don't
right
want,
down the
yeah, we
street
don't
from
want
it.
to like
And
not
we're-
provide resources. Yes, I don't want to.
And it's not that we have never come. I work. Now I'm retired. I'm getting your emails. I'm seeing what you're doing. I said, let me come and see what goes on and how it's run.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
they
you.
came to a few of our meetings also,
Thank you.
and I said, let me show up.
Thank you.
They sent me an email and said, Tony, will you go see what's going on? I said, sure. So I'm here to see,
Thank you.
but I had to let you know that it has been out of control. Okay,
Yes, yes.
I know you're aware of it, but
Yeah.
we're really getting screwed big time.
Yeah, I think, we should talk about how we can direct a lot of this energy towards Oasis.
Yeah, Oasis need to be.
I think that in the past, there's been a lot of friction between community members and the community board for uninformed reasons, and I think that, that doesn't have to be.
Well, I just started getting your emails, but still.
I'm glad you're here, brother. You know why? Because most folks don't come and they complain from afar, and it's like, when we're in here talking about it, we need folks in the room, because when we're talking about it, those discussions are open for folks to give feedback. So the more folks can be in the room, whether you're in person or virtual, it helps. But when it's only 7, 8 of us here making those decisions, you understand what I'm saying? And we're not even making decisions, we're just figuring out how do we attack this issue.
Right.
Along with all of the other issues in East Harlem, because you know, human services is the catch-all committee.
Yep.
So we're dealing with mental health, we're dealing with immigration, we're dealing with supportive housing, we're dealing with the elderly. So we gotta,
That's fine.
you know what I mean? So the more that we can have you all's participation in here in this way where we can dialogue, that's perfect. And we welcome
And
you.
I know this housing workers here, thank you for coming in the neighborhood, you know?
Yes.
As
No,
soon as I saw you there, I walked to the door and said, what do you offer? What are you doing? You know, I wanna know.
Yeah.
You know, I invested in this community, I live here,
And that's what we want to hear too.
and I want 125th Street cleaned up from what's there. And around the surrounding
maybe on
neighborhood,
the same page.
okay?
Yes, I'm gonna, no, sorry, no, please, Andy, please
What I
do it.
will say is that, I mean, while I understand not everyone is in agreement with the work that On Point was doing, as far as them being, you know, providing support for those with substance use disorder, there are a lot of other programs that occur in that building. I would recommend that if you really wanted to take a tour of the building, see how it operates, they do open their doors to let people see what is going on. They offer Reiki, they have acupuncture, all of that is free for the community members. But a lot of people don't go in there because they just see on the outside what's going on, which again, I
Stop
get.
people from going in.
Right, but I think if more of us take the time to make our faces known, and go to those places and not treat people as though there is no dignity between them, that may also change the way that they behave as well. So there could be a way that we work together a little bit better in trying to do that. Like I said, they have a beautiful facility when you actually go inside, go upstairs, see the things that they have there. They have a massage therapy room, like there's a lot of other things that are going on in that space. They have a garden in the back. I mean, they're doing a lot of things. I know from the outside, it doesn't always seem that way, but I would just recommend that if people get the opportunity to check out all of the work that they do.
Okay. Thank you. I will, so I did actually, in this conversation, I realized I did forget something and then did I lose, Lydia, I didn't lose you. Lydia, you guys also are looking for a letter of support for some reason, am I correct?
Yeah, so Oasis asked for either acknowledgement or a letter of support. We did already receive an acknowledgement via email. So yeah, I mean, either or is fine.
Okay, just something that says that you guys came and presented before us and let us know.
Yep, exactly.
So that's the purpose, so that's one of the things that was
Yeah.
birthed out of this process of us really arguing, that they now are making organizations come before us when any change is made or any new spot is being made, that they come before us, so. Thank you for clarifying that, Lydia.
Of course, and thank you all so much. You guys had a lot of great questions. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna keep us going, cause I know we're gonna lose a few board members in a few minutes, and I want to get to the next presentation, yes.
You're gonna close out that letter conversation?
Yeah, I'm going to, so the closeout on that is that I'll follow back up with you, and so, okay, so generally. I guess I'm just looking at this, you said an acknowledgement letter, you said you already have one from the email?
Yeah, we received acknowledgement via email. I
So
don't
do you-
remember from who, but I can look.
Is it an acknowledgement that you can present before the committee, or is that what you mean?
It was acknowledgement that it was my EA who sent it out. I believe it was acknowledgement that this is underway. Yeah, that we are about to commence a capital project for MST. I have to look, but I think that's what it was. Oasis wanted either that or a lot of support saying that we did come and present to you guys, or just acknowledgement via email. So whichever.
Okay, so I don't know what that other document or whatever it is cool. We'll, so how the process for us is that, we take, so people present this month and then by the next month, we can, take a position on things, and that gives us the opportunity to take the month to ask any questions, get any additional information that we need to get. So, I'll be in contact with you throughout this month. And then, yeah, if we have any other questions, are you able to come back next month?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be great.
And then I'll go ahead and I'll ask Oasis for the RFPs. I know you wanted that and like a scope of work kind of thing. So I'll package that all together and send it over to Marlon.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and if you could plan to just talk a little bit about it for a few minutes during the next meeting, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I know we have a few board members who are not here, and I know they're gonna ask the same questions over.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you for your patience.
Of course, thank you.
Okay, so let the record reflect that all letters of request are going to take through that same process, that we will hear your presentation 1 month, and then the next month we will vote and take a position on that request you are asking for. And I just want to be clear for the record on what they're asking for. They're asking for a letter saying they came before us. We don't necessarily need to wait 30 days to say that they came before us, because we all know they just came before us, right? But we are still going to take that process and take the month, just in case people want to do any looking into, you know, the Argus and folks, you know, just anything like that. Yeah. Can I transition? Are there any questions about this? All right. I'm gonna move us to our next presentation, which is from Mr. Walter Harris, the CEO of Power in the Shower. Walter is here, right?
Yes.
How you doing, Walter?
Pretty good.
How you doing, good? So I had a good time looking through your website the other week, man. I appreciate the work you all are doing. Please, man, you have the floor. If you can take 10 minutes for your presentation and then leave some time for Q&A, that would be great.
Yeah, I told Terry to,
And we won't ask any questions.
do you have it on?
Or do we?
Yeah, you just have to tell me when to move, switch sides, I mean, wait for.
Can I stand?
Just stand wherever you want, bro. You can come up here if you want.
Maybe next to the owl.
Oh, yeah, make sure that the owl can hear you, right?
You can stay closer.
Yeah, exactly. Table or something, yeah, because that owl needs to pick up the sound.
All right, good evening, everyone, and those from the board and those from the community. I've sat on my community board for 10 years. I left, did not renew my application in 2019 because I left to work on this, just kind of pass this around. Power in the Shower, I started doing, did a survey back in 2006 on the homeless population, homeless in New York City. And promised myself that before I die, I would like to provide showers for the homeless in New York. And 2018, my church was so happy to sponsor the first shower truck that we had. And we started doing showers in 2018 in New York. In 2019, going into 2020, we picked up some momentum. In 2020, the height of the pandemic, things went down. And so we had the mobile units on the streets giving showers, because that time hygiene was one of the most sort of thing. Everybody shut their doors. During that time, I was moved, decided to start my own organization, Power in the Shower. Flip forward, not sure if you're gonna able to get that video. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna get it.
Oh, that's a video?
Yeah, jump on video. All right, so in 2020 we formed, 2021 we started showing. We were looking for sponsors and to work with. We're based in New York City in the Bronx. That's where I lived and my office is. However, most of the work that we've done in the last 5 years is in New Haven, Connecticut. We were picked up by the government there. And so we have been providing shows for the last 5 years on a full-time basis during the months of March or April until October in New Haven. Just this spring, we're gonna start with Hartford, Connecticut, where again, we were sponsored by the institution there again to work with them. Because I'm from New York and my whole thing was to do it in New York. We have pretty much ironed all the kinks over the years of doing it there. We are not a standalone organization, so we just don't pop. That's why you see me coming through community boards, several community boards. And so it's important for what we do and what this is going to be. It's a part of the fabric of our community. And so it's about bringing people and help them to transition back into life or normalcy of life. All of you here, those who have just come or those who are going home, I want to do three things when you go home. Some of you want to go sleep right away, well, you gotta get a shower before you go to sleep. Okay, you're gonna eat and you're gonna sleep. But one of the things that being on the street that we just don't get is access to showers and to clean showers. And that's what we bring to the table. We are a mobile unit, and so we move around. In collaboration of what we want to do, and that's why I'm here. Not only just for the funding, which we are requesting, but to be a part of operating within the community, not in isolation of. So the areas that we want to go would be in conjunction with what's best for the community, and not that I just thought about going towards a block across the street. All of that is very important for what we do in meeting the needs. I've seen quite a few people over the last, we have, can you flip, sorry.
Next page.
Okay, over the last 5 years, we have served, because we do give out care kits for people who just want a care kit. We do that, and then we did over 7,000 shows in the last 5 years, pretty much in New York, New Jersey, mostly in Connecticut. We're running pretty much about 2,000 plus a year. In shows this year, it's going to be like 3,000. Everybody that comes to our facilities get a brand new underwear, a brand new socks, brand new brief, brand new t-shirt. For the ladies, you get whatever it is that you need for your ladies. Everything is oh, I didn't bring the plastic with. In a plastic, everybody gets a plastic that has in all of the stuff in it. In our show cubicles, we have the shampoo, the conditioner, and the lotions in our cubicles, just as you go to a hotel. And so we no longer give those in hand because they go to waste. Pretty much, and we have tailored everything over the years to one-time use. Our washcloths are one-time use. Our shower are disposable. You wipe, you clean, you dispose of it. Your toothpaste is a one-time squeeze. Your toothbrush, one-time use. So everything is tailored to that homeless person. When we used to give these packages, we noticed that half of it, most of it goes to the garbage because the guys don't have the capacity to carry it around. It becomes weighty. And then they come back next week for a shower. They're not going to come back with the same thing again. And so we tailored it down to one-time use. You use it, dispose of it, and that's it. We don't go to any location more than twice per week. Within, well, most of the time within the geographical area, we don't go to the same location. We'll go to the same, like in Harlem, it will be 2 locations, but not the same one, unless there is a great need. We try to do that so that people don't abuse the system of coming all the time to get, because everything, again, is cost us to keep this going. And most of the time we do this is mid-morning. So we normally start between 8 or 9 until about 2. Once in New Haven, we have a special case that we do in the afternoon. Again, all of that is based on our studies of people coming home from work once a week that needs to get a shower. So we cater for them that time. In the mornings, we do get a lot of folks who are going to work and stuff like that. Can you flip forward? A lot of the folks that we serve here in New York are not those who you see on the street like bums, but more people who are living their cars. They are some years ago, there was this this phrase that was penned by college students that they live in Uncle A, Uncle B, Uncle C. And I'm like, who is that? And they said, that's the train.
Yep.
And so I sleep by Auntie A last night, that's on the A train, you know? And that's the thing that we picked up on the street, of understanding that a lot of young people are homeless, but they just go from friends to friends to friends. You don't know that, because they get a shower here today, and they sleep in it, but they are chronic homeless. And then the little folks that we serve are the ones who work but they can't afford to pay the rent. And so we do have quite a few people who have fallen through the cracks, and they can't pay the hotel fee for a night or two. We give them the shower. And again, we ask no question. But I'm always willing to listen. You got a story to tell, I got time to listen to you. And so I will always say, this is inside our cubicle. The one on the bottom is our largest one that allows anybody with a wheelchair to wheel in and to provide a shower for themselves without assistance. It also could be used as a family side one as well. But we don't have families that come through. Mostly just individuals, most men and women. But we do have people sometimes that come through that need that. It has a ramp that works with that. The other one is the standard side of a shower in the average house, which is 36 by 36. In the truck, it is 32 by 32, a little bit small in the truck, but that's what it looks like inside of our unit. After every shower, our units are sanitized. Somebody goes in after every shower and sanitize everything, cleans it down, cleans out everything, put a new mat on the floor, and the next person goes in. Everybody who comes to our unit sign their name, and that's pretty much that we need. We take your size, your size of your shirt, your underwear, because we need those for statistics. And that's how we're able to give you what package you need. Sometimes we might have to change it. All our packages are pre-packed before they come to the site. And so we just give you a package, you go in and you do your thing, you come back out, we desanitize it, the next person goes in. We do an average between 30 and 35 folks for 4 hours. We very seldom go over 4 hours. On special occasion, we'll go 5 overrun. But we stick to 4 hours. By that time, most people who were going to take a shower within 4 hours would have already taken a shower, and we would move on. And that's pretty much 4 hours of doing showers is 2 hours before we get to you. To get the guys to come and get the truck, get everything, and then an hour to set up. And then when you finish, it's an hour. So by the time you finish it and traffic, it literally goes into an 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours in the summer days for us. We do provide showers on an ongoing basis at our office in the Bronx. And so people take the train and come to the Bronx, take the number 5 and come to the Bronx to get a shower. Again, we ask no question. You come, you get your shower, and you go. But when we do, because we're mobile, when we set up a location with the community where we're going to go, and the best location that we serve, then we go to that location. That's where we go for the 4 hours all the time. We don't just pop around. We focus on part of the solution, not just giving showers, but transformation through showers, through the mind and through the body. Let's go quickly. What we have there. Okay, this was our rollout in New Haven. That's what the units that we have in New Haven. We pretty much, our staff, most our attendants, as they're known, are paid attendants, and they are trained to do this. We don't get in argument, don't get in confrontation, diffuse everything. Guys are always going to come high, they're going to come intoxicated. You don't get in a confrontation with somebody who's intoxicated, because you're going to wonder who's crazy, you or him. So you diffuse that, and that's why we don't let volunteers deal with that part of it. Volunteers just help to keep the queue and keep things okay. But we need people who understand that the guy is going to come today upset because he had a high or he didn't get a high. But tomorrow he's going to be fine, or next time he's going to be fine. Okay, and so we don't get into. We're here to help them, not to tear them down. And just to talk about how many people we do pretty much for 4 hours, 25 to 30 people, maybe more. If again, statistics have shown us that when we in a Latino community, we could do 45 because they just go in. I don't know how they do it, but they're out. But when we're in the Caucasian and the Black community, they have to shave. They have to do the whole 9 yards. So they take longer to use more water. But we have it we just know how it's gonna roll. Let's go to the next one. Okay, that's when we rolled out in New Haven. Some of our folks that we work with there, which is the City of New Haven Housing that sponsors us for the season. Joseph House we use here on the Upper East Side. We have been doing, that's the longest area that I've been serving from 2018 until now. We have been serving at Joseph House, and we start back in April and we go until November, every first Saturday of the month. Adventist Community Services, that's what we started with. We still work with them. I still run the program for that church, for my organization there. Yale and New Haven, they provide medical help for us. Again, we don't stand alone. And so when we're showing, we do have medical staff that deals with the folks that come. Corner Scott is one of the healthcare that works with us there, and Hartford Healthcare is one of our sponsors that we work with in their outpatient travel around. And so we have locations that we go with them. People don't want to deal with the doctor unless they're clean. Doctors don't want to deal with patients unless they're clean. So we're the solution, and that's what we do. We bring that to the table. In New York City, in talking with the mayor's office some years ago, flip forward, the truck that we designed was designed for that when you have case workers, and case workers are going to meet with clients, they should be able to call us and set up an arrangement to have showers for their clients at a particular location. And within reasonable time, we can go. This truck is designed to run on its own with its own generator. It has water on it that it could shower a good 15 to 20 people. This is a truck that we use in New York City. It's a little bit smaller than our other trucks. We don't use trailers because parking space and everything. And so this is the truck that we use at our office and on the streets here in New York. We've used it a couple of times in the Bronx as we go around and do some tables at community events. Move to the next one. Pretty much this talks about, this is an event that we did in Mount Haven last year. This talked about us building out a partnership and collaboration, what it cost. Pretty much, in building some of these vehicles, people will ask, it's about $250,000 to retrofit it, to get it to work the way that we do it. This was built, pretty much funded by me for the last couple of years out of pocket. Pretty much to get it up and running and to keep it going. We know now that we are ready to serve the community, and that's why we're here to be a part of the solution in working to make, if you have cleaner people on your streets, you have happier, healthier people. You will not even know when people are not unhoused because they would have had a shower at least once a week or twice a week. The next one, again, on the streets here, we have been a part of providing the service. Again, when we go to these, we just go there we do a lot, 1 or 2 people that take showers, but it's a lot of tabling and getting the information out there. People don't come to a shower just because you're there. People come to a shower because of a relationship. And that is the key thing. We must make them feel comfortable. We must make them feel accepted. It has transformed my whole life. One of the things I've always said to the folks that comes, if you come with a bad attitude and you take a shower and you still have a bad attitude, you're gonna go back and take another shower. In 5 years or 7 years, I haven't had anybody who have ever had to go back in and take a shower. They always come out with a changed attitude, apologizing, because in a survey, keep on going, in a survey that was done by the Southern University of Connecticut, we also learned that our showers are not even just used just for showering, but they become therapeutic because we use high pressure pumps in order to keep that flow of the water. And folks are going there to have massage of their pain and their back and their shoulders. We didn't even know that. We just know sometimes that the water finishes faster than sometimes. And then we realized that folks were using it to solve some of their pain issues that they have. Pretty much good. I think we're gonna just stop the rest of it. There's some other stuff that's there, that more statistics that have been done on us, not by our organization. It was paid, sponsored by somebody to come and do statistics on us because we are the first organization who have done anything like this in the Northeast. totally detached, totally in and of itself. Everybody wanted to know how it would work. They came in, did a survey on it, for a month. And then gave us the reviews, posted online, and now they use it in the universities and the schools where they teach, for, we call, well, mental health and other thing, case working, as to how the importance of showers are to people based on that and the summit. And so that's why I'm here, to work with this community, as part of, extension of the Bronx, in how can we work with you in eventually providing this on a consistent basis to help to transform the community.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. Walter. I do have a question, a few questions. First, if you're right, this is like one of a kind. I was like, when I was on the phone, Marlene, looking through it, I was like, wow, I mean, really, like, a shower means a lot, you know, I've been homeless and I know what it's like to be able to shower, so I can totally understand that. I guess some of the questions I had were just logistical and how we work together. One, am I correct in that you're looking for some form of a letter of support for a funding application to expand the services?
Yes, yes.
Would you be willing to share more about that funding opportunity with us?
Well, the intention is to apply, well, we have applied to the council for funding. And so we are putting an application to the council and will continue to, because we are, based on what I've known in working in the circle of in my volunteer area, which is disaster response, is there's funding available. And so in order to be able to get the funding, again, we are funded full-time by state government, local government, and the federal government in all the states. And so we know that it could work here. And my thing is not just to be a pop-up. We want to be a stable within the community, be able to come back here on quarterly or whatever basis, showing you keeping us accountable for what we do. And we come back to report to what we do in transforming your community. So it's just not about feeling good. It's about making the difference. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here of talking to the community, with the board.
My other question was, in the Bronx at the site, is there a limit on showers? Or like how often can a person visit there to take a shower? Like if I saw you on Harlem on Monday, when can I go uptown and take another shower?
Well, most times we haven't had much of a problem, but twice a week, somebody might come and that's it.
Okay.
Even in areas where we do 3 in walking, most people don't get, homeless people don't go outside their comfort zone. And the guy who works, or the lady who works and needs a shower every other day, we understand, they don't need clothes. You get me? They just need a shower. And so that's fine with us. If you come every day just for a shower, we're fine with you. What we don't do is every time you come 5 days a week, that we're gonna give you a change of clothes. That we cannot afford. I mean, we you know, no matter what funding we get, it's gonna abuse of resources. So but if you just want a shower, a lot of folks come and say, we got it. We got what we need. We just need a shower. Get your shower. We're fine with it.
And I know this probably is a very premature question because you still are trying to get into working in East Harlem, but I wonder how would organizations that are not community boards work with you? Like, because I heard you mention sponsorship, because if the church needs you to come by one day a month to offer showers in front of the church, the church have to pay, or how does that work?
No, again, if it's a church that we got to deal with, we work on that differently. Again, the sponsorship for the funding would normally be in and of itself, the 4 hours unless the sponsor or the council said, okay, you're gonna do it at a church. That we do that. So the church becomes the anchor. And the church is gonna be allowed to come there for 4 hours, that is fine. That is fine, it's not a problem with that. If the church wants to do it for once a month, what we have done in the past is that, the collaboration between the church, they would provide a lot of the resources. And we would provide the co-sponsor between that. And so we say, okay, and that's where we can do it. When we get sponsor from the government, I can give 4 hours a month to a church at no cost, period, because my cost is covered someplace else. But I cannot keep going to a church to give showers and paying $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month in insurance and the cost. And trust me, when I started, I could have handled it. No, my insurance, everything just keep as yes, yeah, it just literally, but I'm not, God has blessed us. As the cost goes up, so has the opportunity to serve more. And that is why I can come here now, because we have not only the experience, but we now are sure that we can handle going forward without having to interrupt.
Similar question, if an org has an opportunity, would you partner with an org if that org possibly had a funder who was willing to fund?
Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes.
So I think.
Just according to, I'm all church background. Okay,
You see,
I'm all church background, and I still do this. I still run this for my church. We have another van that I still run for my church. I still go around to a lot of churches who call me and they listen to me. It costs $1,800 or $1,900 for me to come out. And they say, I don't have the money. I said, just want to know, it's not free. I'm still gonna come. But I'm not gonna let people think that I'm Bill Gates, that I'm just gonna, no, I am not. Okay, I'm a guy who works every day to make money, to try, and all I've worked for the last 5 years, what I've gone into this. Because this is my life passion. Okay, so I'm not doing it to get paid. Whether they pay me or not, once we have the resources, I'm gonna keep on doing it.
Thank you, Brother Wilson. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have some.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation and admirable work. I too also have been restored many times through the grace and mercy of God in the universe. From being homeless and a recovering drug addict. And I also have experience with working with the homeless in the homeless community. I worked at a facility where we had an entire homeless program funded by the city since back in the early 90s. And then when Giuliani became mayor, just gone. Unsurprisingly. But we too used to do these same kits, but it was inside of a building, so obviously we didn't have to go around and do a mobile truck.
Yeah.
But what is your permitting process like when you have to be on the street? Like, how do you get permits to be on the street? How do you get use of the fire hydrants? Because you obviously need the continual use of water. So how do you do that?
No, well, we don't need permits. There's no need for, because we just take a cost base pretty much, that's what we do.
And what about the use of the fire hydrant?
When we do that, the sponsor, whoever it is that is sponsoring, normally would talk to the fire department and help with the fire. We have never had a problem. They'll come and open it and they'll come and close it, or they'll say, can you open it? And I say, yes, I can say open it. We have gone through a lengthy process in 2018 in trying to go to but New York system is so complicated. Everybody just kept running us around the circle, and then they drop the ball. They say, we don't have an answer to you because of the way the system. They say, just call the fire department and use the hydrant. So even when we do have our trucks that have water in it, in order to serve, if we have a lot of people, a continuous flow allows us to go faster. When we go to a church, the church provides water from the building, or we, as I said, we call the fire department and just say, hey, we would like to, and then do that. In New Haven, what we have is a pass that allows us to use any hydrant that we need to pull up on. The city just gives us that, and so we just do that.
And I just have one more question. Do you see a lot of, in one session, like a 4-hour session, do you have a lot of garbage that you need to dispose of at the end of the session? And you leave it at the location or you take it with you?
We take what we take it with us, so we always take our stuff back.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have a question. Firstly, I commend the work that you do. Thank you so much. It's interesting because your business came up on my Instagram feed earlier in the week, and you're here. That I don't think that's a coincidence. But my question is, I noticed that you have a slot for volunteers. What are some of the services that you require that your volunteers provide?
Well, normally they come, they would deal with, they'll shadow the table, like to make sure that the packages, because sometimes you have to change packages. And so they'll make sure that the packages are pre-packed if you need to. In some cases, when we do churches, we use them to clean the showers under supervision. You know, there's somebody who's making sure that it's properly done and so forth, and sometimes go back over it. But even sometimes when they don't do it to my liking, the fact that they come to volunteer, I allow them to do it. Even sometimes I'm sprinting, I want to go back to wipe it again. Yes, I'm kind of, I believe that only what can transform somebody is if I give them something better than what they expect. And so I always try to say, folks, if you're not going to use it, then don't give it to somebody else to use. So I try to instill that. And then we do have some young people who come to my program, to come to one of the areas on a regular basis to do that. Yes, we're allowed to do that.
Okay, thank you. What is the age requirement for a volunteer?
Well, pretty much we say 18 and above, but in cases where there is adult supervision, that's gonna come with somebody who's younger, that they, it is a walk-in, but it's 18 and above.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
So how many do you have in your fleet? Is it one big truck that has like multiple?
Yeah, what 3 showers? The one that we have here has 3 showers in there. The 2 that we have that works here has 3 showers in there. The one that we have that works in New Haven has 4 showers in it.
How much would you say would be, say I wanted to write a grant just to be working? What would be a good price for like a truck? Well, how should we think about? I mean, of course, that would be more, we would talk more about that, but like give it just.
A truck would run you about $250,000 to retrofit it. Hopefully I'll get some kind of funding to keep this going, because this truck doesn't have, is not handicap accessible. And that costs quite a bit of money. I just built one the other day for Atlanta. And the price was just way more than I had anticipated. But going forward, I know that, you know, to go to India, my next truck is gonna be one that has that capability.
And so the case managers who work, they're part of your organization?
No.
Or so where do they fit in?
They work with us through the city. In New Haven, they work with us through the city. So and again, we're part of a wraparound system. And so the case workers come, we could recommend our guests to them that needs help when they talk to us about wanting to go back into housing. And so we recommend and we would work together to make sure that they get the help that they need. And again, I mean, now we're doing this for years, you know, we know where the drug addicts are, how I've never had to deal with the ODs inside of our showers again, because the way we deal with it, your name is on the door. And after 10-15 minutes, we're gonna keep calling to make sure that you're okay. And so we're not gonna knock and bang on the door but we're just gonna call you, Susan, are you okay, Susan? We have had people who fall asleep. Get a good shower, they have a good night, they fall asleep. We open the door to make sure that they're okay. Stuff like that, but we are not okay like that.
And so you said that you've been having an issue with getting your services up and running in New York because of the inconsistencies of public servants who are really there to help you and they just kind of show up.
Well, New York is a beast.
Yeah. So you haven't been able to do any services in New York as frequently as you've been wanting to do them?
Not at the level that I would want to do it. And again, I'm not just trying to come out here to just do little showers here and there. That's not my intention.
So what do you need the support from us for then?
Oh,
Are you just doing a presentation about your organization, or you need something specific?
we need a letter of support so that we can apply for public funding.
Okay, for New York public funding.
Yeah, New York public funding.
Any other questions?
I have one more question.
Please.
How many trucks do you have?
I own one and I have access to another one, so I have two trucks.
We did in New York, we got for one on the brother's block and one on my block.
Sanitation, there's a lot of parking spaces over there. And they need you over there at 128th Street, and Third,
No, that's a fact.
okay, and you won't have problem with parking.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You can park right there, no problem.
Did you get my card?
I got a picture.
Alright. So then, can you just shoot me those locations? that-
Location? No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
No problem.
Can you just shoot me the locations and, you know, shoot me the information along that.
Yes, so what we're gonna do, beloved, is we're going to take, please come back next month. We'll definitely send you an invitation to next month's meeting. But we wanna take the month to, is it possible we could visit a truck or a site or something? We don't wanna watch people in the shower, but.
No, sure.
You don't have to think about that now. I can follow up with you.
Yeah, go follow up with me. As I said, we're gonna be opening up fully back at, in the Bronx fully. And then the first Saturday in April, we'll be in, Lower East Side, 36 East First Street. Is one of our locations. We'll be there, the first Saturday of April.
Okay, so we'll take this next month to, just make sure that everybody on the committee has had an opportunity to look through the materials, knows about the org and can ask any questions. And then next month, we can, take a position. In the meantime, I'll also work with you on drafting that letter of support.
Yes.
If you already have a template of what you.
Yeah, I didn't say it, but I'll send you, a template of, a proposal of, that includes everything in it, and you will just adapt it to what the victim. I should have somehow, I slipped in the book.
It's all right, that's perfect, that's perfect, we need the time anyway. Any other questions for the Walter? Any questions in the virtual space? I'm sorry. Okay, cool, thank you. Yes, please.
Being that you're gonna be in touch with them, maybe you can mention 128 where that park is, Holland Park, where sanitation is.
I'm trying to keep you close too, so.
I am in the vehicle, I'm 126, I can walk over no problem. But
I mean-
perfect spot for it, where it won't bother anybody. Even if he goes on a Saturday where they play football, maybe he could get a little couple of dollars from the guys who wanna just shower before they leave. Okay, then make the extra money, and then we can also see it and work, how it works. And it's a place where we can look and not be around other people, because you say you want other members to see, and I would like to see it
Yeah,
also.
if you want to set up that too,
Mhm.
if you want to set up a date that we can come, just let me know. Yeah, just let me know, and I would more than happy, to, you set the date, if I'm, we could drop it around, and I'll definitely want to come and,
All right,
send out a couple of flyers, have a couple of folks come, and you'll see how it operates.
okay, that sounds good.
I would suggest you don't do that at the park though.
Yeah, well, you said at a park?
Not.
It's not at the park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
no,
you
no,
said
you're
suggest-
talking about 120.
Sanitation, sanitation that's over there.
Yeah,
They have the
Okay.
trucks there, there's.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, do it at another
And
city.
if you notice the pictures, some of them were at a park.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, whatever you
Yeah.
is good. I would just, yes, you're on the same page. I was speaking specifically about, yes, that, but just more of keeping this conversation in this dialogue going around the issues that we have in our community, so that, they remain, something that we're consistently working on. So we have on our agenda every week, I'm gonna table it this week, but every month, we talk about our budget priorities, which is something the community board usually only talks about 1 or 2 months a year. We do it the whole year to see how we can be targeting these issues throughout the year. So if we could have y'all, even if a few of y'all come every month, it helps as we are, combing through issues, developing strategies. Part of it is going right at Oasis Head, But then other parts of it is working with brothers like Walter to be able to get resources in the community that will bring some dignity, that will change a little bit at a time, you know, so. Having you guys at the table is a good thing, so I just wanted to say that, you know, so to the extent that, you know, there's representation more than just board members, committee members, and Anthony. You know, it's, yeah, you know, we need, communities, input, you know, we live here, but we don't represent the entire community, you know, so that's important.
Do you take clothing donations, or is that like, y'all, not much?
No, we do take clothing donations. Again, but it has to be of very good quality.
Right.
Because again, if I'm gonna give something to somebody, it has to be of good quality. But we do take, clothing, again, I'm part of a big organization, okay, so I do a lot, so we recycle clothes. We're part of, Recycle NYC,
Okay.
and so we do get clothes, if I'm not giving them to the homeless, then I recycle them through another avenue, but yes, we do take those.
All right, last one question, please.
What is your daily cost for one day?
To bring out a unit,
Yeah,
$1,900.
1,900? Okay. All right.
All right, y'all, so, that concludes that presentation. Thank you, Brother Harris. You will, hear from us throughout the month. Please send that information over, because that helps us to, draft that. So lastly, I was supposed to give a presentation. I'm going to briefly just talk about what I was going to give the presentation on, and I'll give a full presentation next month. I actually wanted some other folks to be here, and they weren't able to make it. Another choice is, so as you all know, the minister at the church right here on 116th Street in Madison. We have our community outreach ministry, which is another choice, youth and family outreach. The church is Mount Zion AME Church. I see you thinking. Yeah, so we got church, you probably see it all the time. It's been there for 100 and some years. Used to be a bank, now it's a church.
Okay.
We're actually renovating the 3rd floor. And part of the initiative is to, this summer, we want to do open streets. So we want to block off 115th Street between Madison and Park to do community events. So we want to do, art and wellness as a theme for the whole summer. So one day a week, every Friday. So we have, young people, who are with us in our summer youth program every summer, while they're with us most of the year. We get young people from all different programs, ISP program, John Jay, everywhere. And they, but these young people this summer will be helping to run and organize those street events with us. But they will be bringing our community. We're going to be doing everything from like yoga out there to Reiki to having like, we're trying to get a green room outside. But a lot of it is around health and wellness and really looking at wellness in a holistic sense. So we'll have a lot of different vendors out there. We'll also have organizations, we'll have community members out there, whether they are participating in some sort of performative way, some sort of presentational way, or some sort of participatory way. But the event is for community and it is to block off the street on 115th Street, which is an active street, you know, in that regard. You know, it is very active with a lot of stuff going on in that street. So we want to be able to activate that street to just bring some better energy to that block throughout the summer and to really create a pattern of, you know, better wellness for the community. So that's the short end of the presentation. I'll give a better one, which actually I'm going to be presenting at the Public Safety Committee this Thursday, and I'll actually give a full presentation there with slides and everything. So you're welcome to join me then. I'll definitely come back to Human Services to present, because I would like the committee to also be a part of the organizing and the work that we'll be doing. But this is not the committee I have to get permission from, so the committee is the Public Safety Committee, because we're blocking off the street. So on Thursday, I'll be giving a formal presentation to them. You're more than welcome to join. If not, I'll share the recording with you, but we'll be back in April talking about that hard. That's the fullness of my presentation. Any questions about that in advance? I can definitely answer them. No? Y'all trust me way too much. This is good. No, this is good. So, definitely if you have thoughts, ideas throughout the month, since I just threw that in the air, please let me know. If you particularly do something in health and wellness and you want to see it there, let me know. I would love to highlight everyone's organization there. Y'all already know how I am. We definitely gotta, promote the organizations in our community that are doing the work. We definitely want to promote non-traditional healing as well, where in East Harlem, where there been used to be 100 methadone clinics. There used to be different ways we went about healing. So we still tap into that spirit a lot. So yeah, that's the energy. I know I hope that the event we just did a few months ago was a demonstration of what we can do. So we will have some fun this summer. But yes, if there's no questions, then I will move this along. Some questions? I appreciate y'all. Lastly, a discussion, we usually have a discussion on our committee goals and budget priorities. I'm gonna table this because I feel like I didn't do what I needed to do to really reach out to the members during the month that said they would do certain things. So I'm gonna reach out to you guys, like this week, so that it doesn't fall into next week, but then so we can just start to strategize for our next coming months, because we only have April, May, and June, and then we're on break. So we want to make sure that we can get some work done in those next 3 months. And next month, we do have a few letters of resolution to pass, so I will be in you guys' inbox a lot this month. Please answer your emails soon. Yeah. If there are no other questions, no other dying comments, I will adjourn this. If I will. Adjournment, and
We take the roll.
no. Cool. So, no, all right, so we'll take roll and then we can adjourn.
Marcel Rondeau, present. Rosa Diaz, veteran. Arnie Slauson Hernandez,
Present.
Jennifer Meyer. Valerie Ponte, present. Ashley Rodriguez. Ivan Scott. Robert Stration is absent. Alida Chichin. Thanks.
Thank you, Marlene. So the meeting is adjourned, everybody. Thank you very much for your time and your patience and your work in the community.
For the attendees, if you didn't sign that sheet,
Yeah.
please do so.
Yeah, so we can have you write mark for the minutes, who's here.
Oh.
No, right.